Why no one can just call himself a pastor. In our modern world, anyone seems able to open a church and become a pastor. In some churches, they are at least appointed. But no one asks who appointed the ones who appoint. Because if that line traces back to a man who simply appointed himself, then nothing was ever handed down at all. So what is the correct Christian principle drawn from Scripture and history? The principle is this: God alone is the source of every legitimate ministry. But He always establishes the ministry first, and then authorizes each individual to exercise it through a human means He has set in place. No one steps into it on his own. Scripture shows how seriously God takes this. When Korah and his followers claimed priestly ministry that was not given to them, the earth opened and swallowed them, and fire consumed the rest. When King Uzziah, though a king, entered the temple to burn incense, a work reserved to the priests, he was struck with leprosy at the altar. The office is God's to give, and no one seizes it and stands unpunished. So how is it given? In the Old Covenant, that authorization came by birth, through the line God appointed. In the New, it comes by the laying on of hands, in succession from the apostles whom Christ sent. The mode changed, the rule did not. Ministry is always received through a legitimate channel, never self-assumed. Test it by Scripture. Hebrews says no one takes this honor to himself, but only he who is called by God, as Aaron was. Christ tells the apostles, "As the Father sent me, so I send you." They pass the office on by hands. Paul reminds Timothy of the gift given through the laying on of hands, and tells him to entrust it to faithful men who will teach others. Titus is left to appoint elders in every town. Tested by the early church. Around the year 96, Clement of Rome wrote that the apostles appointed bishops and arranged that when they died, other approved men would succeed to their ministry. Irenaeus, near the year 180, made this unbroken succession from the apostles the very test of a true church, and traced the bishops of Rome to prove it. Now, the invitation. If you disagree, do not merely argue against this. Formulate your own principle of who may minister, and judge it by the same two tests. Does Scripture show it? Did the early church practice it? I have found this the honest way to tell whether what we believe is true. State the principle, then let Scripture and history judge it. By that measure, legitimate ministry is not seized. It is received in the line of the apostles, reaching back to Christ Himself.